Good morning, Year 4s, and welcome to Friday's maths lesson. So today in maths, we're going to be dividing. So the learning objective is to divide. So your steps are, I can recall that division means to share equally. I can count in multiples to help me with the answer. I can use multiplication to help me, and I can use known facts. And our vocabulary is share, equal, and multiples. Okay, so we've done lots of dividing before this year. So this lesson is a revision lesson, just to get you remembering how we can divide, because next week we're going to be dividing bigger numbers. So this is just an important lesson for you to get back into your division knowledge. So to start with, we've got a division starter with some multiplication as well. So pause the video and give yourselves 5 minutes or less to complete that starter. Okay, well done. And these are your answers. Okay, so the big question today is, Oliver has 18 apples, which he needs to share equally between 3 friends. How many apples does each friend receive? So when you're thinking about this question, even if you know the answer automatically, that's great. I still would like you to see if you can put that answer into a bar model. So to represent that sum or question in the bar model, write the division sum down, see if you can put it into a part whole model, and then write the answer sentence. So even if you know what the answer is straight away, still try and do all of those other things as well. So pause the video and have a go on a piece of paper at home. Okay, well done. So with division, the first thing I do is I would draw my bar model or my part whole model. So I know that I've got 18 apples, which is my whole number. So that can go in the whole bar or in the whole circle, because we're starting with 18. Then we know it needs to be shared between 3 friends. So I would put my other bar and I would divide it into 3 for my 3 friends. And I've got 3 parts coming off my whole circle. So now I need to work out how much each friend gets. So my division sum at the moment is 18 divided by 3, because I'm sharing it between 3 friends. Okay, so here I've got 18 apples as well. So you could have drawn 18 apples, but we want to try and get away from drawing apples. So you can see that if I split this into 3 groups for my 3 friends, each friend is going to get 6 apples. So I would put in 6 apples for this friend, 6 apples for this friend, and 6 apples for this friend. And the same with the parts. Now it's really important that when we are dividing, we know that it needs to be equal. Okay, that is the key when we are dividing. So we can't, for example, say that this friend gets 5 and this friend gets 7 apples. Okay, which still equals 18. So 6 plus 7 plus 5 still equals 18. But we have not shared it equally. And that's really important, that each person gets the same amount. So it's just an important thing to remember when we're dividing. Okay, then we can write in our answer that 18 divided by 3 equals 6. Okay, and then our answer sentence would be, so our question is, how many apples does each friend receive? And then you would write your answer, each friend receives 6 apples. Okay, so these are the kind of things we're going to be working on today. So it's not always easy to know the answer to a division question unless you are drawing out apples or drawing out dots or arrays. So we're going to try and think of some strategies to help us to get the answer quicker. So there are 2 different ways that you can use when you are dividing. Now, the goal obviously is to be able to do that mentally. So in your head, if you know what 15 divided by 5 is already, then you're on the right track. And that only comes with a lot of practice. So the more you practice, the quicker you will know your answers. But if you don't know the answers, there's two ways that you can work it out. So the one way would be to count in the multiples of what we are dividing by. So if we look at this one, we know that we're dividing by 5. So you could count in 5s until you reach 15. So if you went 5, 10, 15, now you've reached 15, you counted 3 times, 1, 2, 3, you counted 3 numbers. So therefore the answer is 3. And then the same with this one, if you don't know what 36 divided by 6 is, the one strategy you can use is to count in multiples of that number you're dividing by until you reach the other number, 36. And this is where it's really important to know your times tables so you can count in multiples. So we've got 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So then we check how many times you've counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So the answer is 6. Okay, so that's one strategy. The other strategy is to use our multiplication knowledge, our inverse. So for example, if we look at this sum without the answer, so let's just take the answers away. We know that when we are dividing, the whole number is first, and when we are multiplying, the whole number is the answer. So if I had to do a multiplication sum, I know that my sum is going to equal 15. And one of my parts is going to be 5. So what times 5 is 15? And then again, you would count in 5s, 5, 10, 15, and it would equal 3. So your answer is 3. And then the same with this question, you would do 6 times something equals 36. And then if you know your multiplications really well, you would know that 6 times 6 equals 36. So those are just 2 strategies to help you until you become confident with your division facts. Okay, so using these 2 strategies, unless you know them out of your head already, I'd like you to pause the video and find the answers to these division sums. Okay, well done. So let's go through those answers. So 20 divided by 2. So I also know that when I'm dividing something by 2, I'm halving it. So we could use our known factor as well. But if I counted in 2s up until 20, I would have counted 10 times. Or if I'd used my multiplication knowledge, I would have known that 2 times something equals 20. And then I would have known that 2 times 10 equals 20. So that's the answer to the division sum. So multiplication and division are linked. Right, then this one, 99 divided by 11. So I could have counted up in 11s to 99. So I could have gone 11, 22, 53, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. And I would have counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Or I could have gone 11 times what equals 99. And then my answer would have been 9. Okay, so this one, 48 divided by 8. So if I was using my times table knowledge, it would be 8 times what equals 48. And we would have known that the answer would then be 6. Okay, so this one, similar to 99 divided by 11. Often when our number is 44 or 99, we know that it's linked to the 11 times table. And these are all facts that you will learn the more you practice division and multiplication. So your multiplication sum, if you're using the inverse, would be 4 times what equals 44. And then the answer would be 11. Okay, and then for this one, it's quite difficult to count up in 9, so you would use the 9 times table to help you. So 9 times what equals 54. 9 times 6 equals 54. Okay, and then the last one, 6 divided by 1 equals something, so that was 6. Because anything divided by 1 is the whole number. Okay, so these are just some strategies you can use. Like I said before, obviously the goal is to know those off by heart the more you practice. Okay, so we can also divide using known facts. So for example, if we've got 600 divided by 3, just like we did with multiplication, we can use known facts to help us. So for this one, we can say 6 divided by 3. I'm just going to have to bring in my division sign. So we could say that 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Therefore, 600 divided by 3 will equal 200. Okay, then this one, 100 divided by 1, we could say 1 divided by 1 is 1. Therefore, 100 divided by 1 is 100. Okay, this one, so 1,600 divided by 2. A known fact we can use for this one is 16 divided by 2 equals. Okay, so if we count it up in 2s to 16 or use our multiplication, we know that 16 divided by 2 is 8. Therefore, the answer will be 800. Okay, and then with this one, we could use our known fact of 10 divided by 2. So 10 divided by 2 equals. And we know that that equals 5. Therefore, 1,000 divided by 2 equals 500. Okay, and in the last two over here, we know that 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 30 divided by 3 will equal 10. And for this one, we know that 9 divided by 3 is 3. So therefore, 90 divided by 3 will be 30. Okay, so we will come back to known facts next week, but this is just for some of the challenges today of also dividing using known facts. Okay, so your bronze, silver, and gold challenges. So the bronze challenge today is dividing using pictures to help you. Silver is division, facts, and known facts. And then the gold challenge will be doing some inverse challenges, known facts, and reasoning problems. So I'll go through those now. So if you're going to choose bronze, you are going to be doing an activity that looks like this. So divide 10 into 2 equal groups. So you would draw your circles and then divide 10 into 2 equal groups. So there are 5 in each group. So this should actually have another one. I just spotted that now. It should have another circle. Okay, so the division sentence would have been be 10 divided by 2 equals 5. And then this side, divide 10 into groups of 2. So there are 5 groups of 2. The division sentence will be 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So that's just an example of what you need to do. The actual sheet is over here. And then the sums that you need to do afterwards are over here. And you can draw circles and share out if you would like to as well. The most children that went to Miss Hand could be doing this activity. Okay, the silver challenge is to have a look at straightforward division facts and some known facts. So remember, we can use the two strategies to help us of counting in multiples or the inverse, the multiplication sum, to get the answer. Then gold challenge will do exactly the same, but then your additional challenge would be to compare these answers with the greater than, less than, or equal sign, and then doing some inverse. So looking at these three numbers and telling me what two multiplication sums I can make with those three numbers, and what two division sums I can make with those three numbers. So have a think about which challenge you would like to do. Go back to that challenge, pause the video, and work out your answers on a piece of paper. And then afterwards, have a look at the answers and see if you've got any correct or incorrect. So it's really important that you send your work back to us as well, so we can see how you are doing. So start your activity now, and then I will leave the video running with the answers.